Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. And I've got two special guests with me today. We've got Frank and Darren from the Slaughtered Lamb Movie Podcast. Say hello, guys.
Hello,
Hey.
guys.
Hello. So we're going to be doing a Christmas special today. As you can see, I'm all Christmased up with Michael Myers. Don't know if you guys noticed that.
I didn't know. I did bring my own Santa hat though, but no one else has got one on, so I'm just going to park that there.
Well, yeah, I was actually going to wear one, but I saw you guys weren't wearing one, so I decided I'm just going to go on Michael.
Frank, have you got one?
Yeah, I do have a Santa hat, but it has my kid's name on it.
That's
I could flip it the other way or anything. But Darren, your background looks like you're having a seance.
Yeah,
It looks like
It's like
Dr. Death.
It's a scene from Halloween 6.
5.
Well, wait a
All
minute.
you need is your stick.
He's got a poster of "It's Me, Billy."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about
Yeah.
as Christmassy as he is. Well,
Christmas
It's Me,
film.
Billy up there.
I
See, it's me.
got a Nakatomi shirt. So
There you
well,
go.
there you go. There you go. We've got something Christmassy for everyone. Excellent.
Did anyone see Violent Night yet? I've got to.
Well-
I haven't, but
I have. I watched it last night in the cinema.
okay.
And
And
not Matilda.
Not Matilda. No, it was a toss up. But yeah, Violent Night was. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I was going to talk about that before we begin.
oh, okay.
I don't know what it was. I don't know why I thought it was going to be a horror movie. I just kind of categorized it as a horror film, but it's obviously not a horror film. However, it is fantastic. There's nothing
Good.
bad about the film. I think when you watch David Harbour, it's almost like he knows this movie's going to be gold, that he puts his all into the performance of Santa Claus. And it's good because there's a slight backstory for Santa Claus as well, which is
Okay.
fantastic. I don't want to give anything away because there is quite a lot you could talk about. However, if you've not seen it, if the guys in the chat haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's going to be one of these
Good.
Christmas movies that you watch every single year. Maybe not with the family because there is some brutal brutal scenes in it. However, it's a great film and it's reminiscent of Die Hard, but it's
Good.
not John McClane. It's Santa Claus.
Santa.
Yeah, it's so good. It's unbelievably good. So yeah, it's
Oh,
definitely
excellent.
check it out.
I can't
it's
wait.
really-
I've got to go see it. You're going, aren't you, Frank?
yeah, I'm gonna go see it. And Barry, I expect we're probably gonna get a review episode from you, right? Eventually.
Yeah, I'm actually going to record it tonight probably, and I'll maybe get it out tomorrow. I don't know if we'll do a spoiler review or whatever, but I can't not talk about it though because it is so good. Like it's the best Christmas movie I've seen since
Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
maybe this Santa Claus with Dudley Moore.
Yeah. Christmas with the Cranks.
I love that film as well.
You don't really?
I do. Do you know, I went through a phase of loving anything Tim Allen was in because I loved Home Improvement. And so anything he was in, even if it was crap, I would watch it. And because I liked Jamie Lee Curtis as well, I kind of force myself to like Christmas with the Cranks. But it's fun. It's a bit of fun with the family. Fun
Well,
with the
Christmas
Cranks.
Vacation, right? You always like that.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Absolutely,
Well, that's
But-
that's.
But that movie's good.
That movie is good, yeah. Yeah, and that's what I want to talk about today as well. Before we get into our horror, is I've not asked you to answer this before the video, but when it comes to non-Christmas horror movies, non-Christmas, let me start again. Non-horror related Christmas movies. What is your favorite Christmas movie that's not horror? Anyone?
I actually like Santa Claus the movie with Dudley Moore.
Yeah.
And also I think John Lithgow steals that movie.
Oh, he's so good in that. Yeah.
Oh, he plays Brisby or Brisbane Toys, and he's just looking at them where they're doing the Senate hearing about the toys that that all the toys are flammable or filled with pins. and the way when Dudley Moore says we're going to give out these candies for free, and he goes,
Oh, free!
he's great. John Lithgow is one of those versatile actors, isn't he? He could be a good guy, he could be a bad guy.
Yeah.
Everything he touches or stars in, you're gonna have a fun time. And the Santa Claus the movie is no exception. And poor Dudley Moore being an elf in it. who probably was drinking as well on the set. It's just a good movie. It's really a heartfelt movie. I love it.
Yeah, the score, the soundtrack in it is fantastic as well. Thing is in it as well. Mickey from Rocky, Buster Merryfield. Do you know
Yes.
yeah. Old Grand Elf.
Somebody, a colleague of mine in the industry I'm in, is also in it as well. He's one of the elves in the factory. Yeah. He's retired now, but shout out to Malcolm Rowan.
Was it the guy getting his beard used as a paintbrush?
No, it's not him. No, but I did. I've been seeing the film for years, and then one day someone said to me, "Did you know Malcolm was an elf in Santa Claus the movie?" And I was like, "What?"
Take a piss
I thought we were
off.
taking the piss. I was like that. And then the next time it was on, I watched it, and there he was with his hat on, going around. Fantastic. But I think someone's mentioned a few movies there. There's Christmas Vacation. Is one of my favorite Christmas movies, but also the Muppets Christmas Carol. I think is fantastic with Michael Caine. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I mean, there's some good ones there, like Scrooged, even The Ref. Someone mentioned The Ref. The Ref is fantastic, even though it wasn't called The Ref in the UK. It was called Hostile Hostages with Dennis Leary.
Oh, right.
It's a kind of Kevin Spacey too.
Oh, he was in it, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was the dad, wasn't he? Yeah.
Is the poster is Dennis Leary leaning against a door or something?
Yes,
on the poster?
That's right. Yeah.
And J.K. Simmons is in it as well.
Yeah. Judy Davis. Yeah, it's good. It's a good movie.
Yeah. My favorite Christmas movie of all time is It's a Wonderful Life. It's a bit cliche because I think that's a lot of people's favorite Christmas movie. But it's just so deep and amazing. And I think every time I watch it, it takes me back to my childhood. And I actually just watched the color version for the first time a few years ago, and it doesn't take anything away from how magical the film is. It's so good. Another one that I love, which you guys will hate, is I'll Be Home for Christmas with Jonathan Taylor Thomas from Home Improvement.
Mm-hmm.
And he has to get back to the house, to his dad's house for Christmas Eve, and he'll get the Porsche. And if he doesn't get back in time, he doesn't get the Porsche. You not heard of that, Darren?
I don't think I have.
Maybe you're.
Who else is in it?
Gary Cole.
What do you mean I'm too old?
It's a little bit older. Gary Cole's in it. You know Gary Cole?
Yeah, Gary Cole. I like Gary Cole.
He's the dad. Who else is in it? Jessica Biel. She plays the girlfriend.
Okay. It rings a bell now. It does ring a bell. You liked a lot of Home Improvement, didn't you?
Oh, of course. I grew up loving Home Improvement. Yeah, that was my thing. Oh, we've got a super chat in here, guys. Hold on. Let me just get that up. Sorry, I'm using two screens now. Fancy. Here we go. We've got Peter Anthony Productions Inc. sends in $9.99. Thanks very much. What's up, Barry? What's up, Barry, Darren, and Frank? One of my guilty pleasures for Christmas horror is Santa's Sleigh with Bill Goldberg. Hope you agree. I've not seen that one. I actually had it on my watch list for this year. I'm not sure if we're going to get around to it, but have you guys seen that?
I haven't. I funnily enough, I was looking at the cover of it today with the house and the snow and the Santa with the axe or something in his hand walking towards the house. Is Goldberg the wrestler?
Yep. Yeah.
Is that who it is? Is that? Was he playing Santa in it?
Yeah. It's a good movie. It's fun. It's cheesy. Fun. And it's one of those movies where Santa is not evil, but you piss him off. He'll start fighting and killing you.
Yeah.
It's like Christmas is like his. Out of all the movies, in this movie, Santa says Christmas is like his worst day of the year.
There is a movie coming out on Shudder this Friday, which I'm looking forward to. A Christmas movie. Yeah, and it's the guy who did Black Friday and was it VFW?
Yep.
And what's the film called now?
Bloody Christmas.
That's the one. Yeah. And it's supposed to be great fun.
Can't wait for that. It looks so good.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to chatting to Frank about that one. It's been hovering now for a little while, hasn't it? And yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, that looks good.
Fat Man was good too, actually. Fat Man with Mel Gibson. I actually like that movie.
Oh, I've not seen that. That was last year's, wasn't it?
Yeah, Walter Goggins. Goggins
Yep.
from Justified.
The Shield, yeah.
Yeah, he's that movie's great. I like seeing. It's basically Lethal Weapon Santa, you know. So it's actually pretty good. It's a good
Another
movie.
Christmas movie.
Excellent, yeah.
So
Or
they
is it
say.
one of those like Die Hard where people argue that it's not a Christmas movie?
Yeah, it's just a movie set at Christmas.
Yeah.
And I
he
think if it works
he
as
plays Santa, so it works.
yeah, exactly. And if it works for you as a Christmas movie, if it's a film you watch around Christmas, then what the hell? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fair enough. If there's a movie just set at Christmas, but they don't mention Christmas, then maybe it's not a Christmas movie. But when you look at Die Hard, it's set at Christmas. They're having a Christmas party. It's snowing. There's Christmas music all the way through the film, and they talk about Christmas, and they've got the ho ho ho. Everything's so, and they play it at Christmas as well. So,
And the building's empty because everybody's broken up for Christmas. So
Exactly.
you know,
yeah,
I
absolutely.
agree with you, Darren.
I think we all need to watch Santa Jaws about the killer Christmas shark that's going around. They have it. They have it. The cover is a great white shark with a Santa hat on, swimming through the water, and it's called Santa Jaws.
How do these things get made? Honestly, you get
People
lots
like
of these
Frank
things.
watch them.
Oh yeah, well, God, I mean, come on. You know, this is movie history that we're watching that you'll never see again. You know,
I mean, what was the one you mentioned the other day about the astronaut shark side of the moon?
oh yeah, Shark Side of the Moon.
Was that have you seen that new one? Well, I think it was last year called the Amityville Karen.
Oh yeah,
Jesus.
they got so many of these good ones out. I mean, there's they got a Mrs. Claus horror movie. They got Saint Nicholas. Saint Nicholas is of course after Santa Claus. He's riding a horse. He looks like the lead singer from Ghost, and he's riding a horse with his cross, and he goes around and beats evil children with it.
Some of these things are just too bad that you need to see them.
Well, yeah. Can Jaws: The Revenge be considered a Christmas movie? It's taking place during Christmas. Shamrock Balls just pointed that out.
Oh, really?
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
There you go. Lots of films probably could be considered Christmas movies if you do it that way.
Oh yeah.
Nothing rings in the Christmas spirit than having a Michael Caine in your movie.
Yeah. So he can pay for his mum's house. Right. So we'll start with for you guys who don't know yet or just joined the chat, we're going to be giving you guys 5 recommendations for 5 different horror movies that you might have seen, you might have not seen, and we can discuss them all the way through it. So we'll just go through them one at a time, tell you guys what it's about, and we can maybe, if you guys have seen it, then we can talk about it. So I'll go first, traditionally. So the first one, if I can get it up on the screen, I will show you it. Nah, hold on. No. How'd you do it, guys? I didn't know last time.
Have you uploaded it as
a background?
A background. It should be as a slide, I think.
What a diddy. Oh, I can do it as an overlay. No.
Yeah, overlay might do it as well, but we may disappear.
I'm spoiling it. Taking this away. Yeah, if we disappear, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Means you can pick your nose. Right, here we go. Here we go. Right. So the first one I want to recommend is Dead End from 2003. This is the one with Lynn Shay and Ray Wise. They're the parents. Let me just take this away. So they're the parents that are driving along this little road at night with their 2 kids in the back and their daughter's boyfriend. It's Amanda Holden. No, Amanda Holden. Amanda something. Not Amanda Holden. And they're driving down this long road and they decide, or the dad decides to take a shortcut, and he ends up just driving for miles. Now, it's so good that there's a twist at the end, and I can't tell you what the twist is if you guys haven't seen it, but it's one of these films that's set at Christmas. It's not very Christmassy. It's like Die Hard. It's just set at Christmas. They're going to Ray Wise's mum's for Christmas dinner, and they just can't seem to get there. They're just driving down this road, and there's just no way they can get out of this little one road. There's a reason for it, which gets explained at the end, but I can't really say why. But it's so eerie. And the first time I watched this movie, I don't know why I've done this, but I watched it on my laptop with the earphones in and the pitch black with the sound right up. And I was staying with my parents at the time. And I remember when I was watching a scary bit coming up, my mum came in and touched my arm and I couldn't see her.
Oh,
Asked me if I wanted a cup of tea. And I just went, whoa! And I think that added to the experience of the film because I was like, oh, get out. But yeah, it was such a good movie. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie. Have you heard of it? Have you seen it?
I haven't.
I believe I did, actually. Is the twist at the end kind of Twilight Zone-ish?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Yeah. I think I've seen this. Yeah, right. I think I've seen this. It is. You're kind of, when you see the ending, I'm not going to spoil it, of course. You're kind of like, you kind of didn't expect it, but you're kind of like, that's the only explanation.
Yeah. Because you're thinking, after you see the twist, you're like, oh, of course, that would be the case, but you don't think of it until you see it. But yeah, it's a really good one. So you've not heard of it, Darren? You've not seen it?
I have heard of it. I've never seen it. I know Frank's a bit of a Ray Wise fan. You quite like Ray Wise, don't you?
There is a Barry, I think I could spoil this part where the wife shoots Ray Wise.
Yeah.
And he says, the effing bitch shot me. and of course, it was only Ray Wise fashion, but it is a fun movie, and seeing how this family kind of deteriorates with each other towards the
madness.
end. Yeah, and the madness that happens. The mom just flips off, right, Barry? She just goes freaking wacky. Oh yeah. And the dad is actually trying to keep everybody together. Mm-hmm. It actually is a good movie. It is.
Yes, it's very, very underrated, and it's very surprising. Like, people might watch it thinking, "Oh, I'll just watch this," and as the movie progresses, you're like, "Do you know what? I'm actually going to pay attention to this because this is pretty good." I can't remember who directed. I think it may be Jean Baptiste something. I think he's directed a few good films. But yeah, it's very underrated, and I think it's got quite high marks on IMDb and stuff. It's a pretty good one. I don't know if the chat, if any of you guys have seen it.
People are adding it to their list.
They better be.
I think Ray Wise has just been announced for The Love of Horror next year, hasn't he?
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Do you know what he has? Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah.
Somebody said,
be fun.
Shamrock Ball said Ray Wise was great in RoboCop. That's right. He's one of the bad guys in RoboCop that he was at the beginning with.
He kicks
he kicks him in the nuts.
RoboCop has no nards.
That's right.
But he's obviously in. But you can tell, like, when he kicks RoboCop really quick, he bounces back. Peter Weller goes back a little bit because that's a male's natural reaction, isn't it? To just go, don't worry, you'll be protected. I don't trust you.
But yeah, Ray Wise is in Jeepers Creepers 2 as well.
Yes.
He was fantastic in that as well. He's so good in everything that I've seen him in anyway.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, really good. Right, so we'll move on to Frank next. Let me just get up now. Frank might have forgotten what his number one was, so I'll click on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had to get this out of the way. Gremlins is a Christmas movie. Set around Christmas. There's snow. There's a Santa Claus being attacked by the Gremlins, dealing with a man who is trying to find the ultimate Christmas gift for his kid, Billy. And it is Gizmo, the Mogwai. But yeah, it's also Christmas. It's the Christmas spirit of the family getting together. Well, Dad's never around, is he? But they're fighting off these Gremlins for the Christmas season. And then one of Darren's worst monologues ever is about the Santa Claus, I think, with Phoebe Cates telling about how Santa, was killed down the chimney trying to surprise the family. It's really creepy. But not one of Darren's favorite movies, though.
I don't mind it. I think it's okay. I just think that what they initially set out to do with that film was to make it a full-on R-rated movie. And then they just kept backtracking and changing it and stuff. And some of the stuff that was going to happen in the film, like the dog was going to get killed. And like Frank says, I do like that monologue. I think it's a really, that realization kicks in that you burnt your dad. Which is right, isn't it?
Yeah, he broke his neck on the way down.
Yeah, and then she lit the fire.
The mothers lit the fire. They could smell. Is that Dad's cologne? Well, then Mrs. Deagle flying off into the through the windows, hilarious with the Christmas carolers. Everything about this movie does scream Christmas. I think,
and I think having seen what Joe Dante did with Piranha, I would have liked to have taken that level of, critter into this film. Do you know what I mean? With what he did with that film, but no, they kept reining it in, and it was a family-friendly, PG, fluffy, bloody mogwai film.
Oh, Darren. Barry, how do you feel about Gremlins?
I enjoyed it. I don't love it as much as maybe you do, but I've got fond memories of it. It's kind of got that Amblin. Is it an Amblin movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's got that Amblin
Spielberg,
feel
yeah.
to it. But it's also, it kind of feels like a Christmas version of Big Trouble in Little China. I don't know what it is. It's got that adventure to it as well. But yeah, I do like Gremlins, but it's not one that if somebody says here's a bunch of movies, and if Gremlins was there, I maybe wouldn't choose it. I don't know what it is. There's a little bit of a disconnect with me and Gremlins, but I do like it. I do enjoy it, and I can understand why people love it because it is a classic at the end of the day. But it's just I've got other films that would always be ahead of Gremlins for some reason, and I don't know why, because it is a perfect film that I would love to see because I love The Goonies, I love Big Trouble in Little China, all those movies from the mid-'80s, and that's smack bang in the middle, 1984, I think it was. So it's one that I do like, but I just don't love it, and I don't know why. Strange.
I'm the same. It wasn't as big a deal over here in the UK as it was in the US. But I'm the same as you, Barry. I think it's fine. I think at that time when I was like 13, well, probably 10, 11, 12, something like that, I was getting into horror and things like that. I'd seen Halloween and Halloween 2 at that point. And so something like this was probably a little bit I was probably being there was a bit of snobbery going on, I think. Well, this is a kid's film. Do you know what I mean? I want to see Friday the 13th and The Burning and zombie flesh eaters and things like that, So that's probably why I didn't kind of warm to it. It wasn't hard enough for a 12-year-old in West Yorkshire.
Well, if you saw Billy's mom being decapitated and Barney being eaten, you would have liked it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I miss.
Yeah, I think that's the same with me as well, Darren. I think I got to a point growing up, I would watch horror over films like Gremlins. So if somebody said, let's watch Friday the 13th or Gremlins, I would say, well, let's watch Friday the 13th. And it's no disrespect to the Gremlins because it is still great. But at the time, I would always favour a horror movie over Gremlins because I could watch Gremlins anytime. Whereas if I had a chance to watch a horror film, I would always take that chance. So by the time I got old enough to decide, it was too late. Gremlins had been and gone. So yeah, I think that's maybe my disconnect between that and myself.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, I guess it's true because for the love of horror, Zach came over, who plays Billy, and nobody was in his queue to get an autograph, were they?
Yeah, that's true. And he did it kind of, I shouldn't say this, but he did do a kind of interview on stage, didn't he? And it's a little bit dull.
Yeah. He's a dull man.
He's a dull man. And he's been dining out on Gremlins for too long.
Bring out Gizmo.
Wait, he had a little gizmo, didn't he?
He had one, didn't he? Like that bloody.
I think he takes it with him. See if he doesn't take it with him, though.
I wonder if he thinks it talks to him. And Howie Mandel's voice.
But I think he takes it with him because if he doesn't have the gremlin with him, nobody knows who he is. So he has to carry it. So they're like, oh, that's the guy from Gremlins. He's got a
You're Barney's owner.
And so we'll move on to Darren. And Darren's first one is this.
Before I talk about this, have either of you guys seen it?
Yes.
No. Is that the is that the little kid from Jojo Rabbit?
It is, yeah.
It is. And
It's the same.
and Keira Knightley.
Yeah. There's a few people in it.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. And this took us a little bit by surprise, because when you're watching this film, it's just kind of an extended family getting together for a Christmas break. And you don't really know why they're getting together other than to celebrate Christmas. And as the movie unfolds, there's a twist that comes along, or the twist doesn't really hit until the final kind of 20 minutes of the movie or something like that, Barry. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
And when you find out the reason why they're all there, and I'm, again, much the same as Dead End, I'm not going to spoil the ending. I think people should watch this and find out for themselves what the reason is why they're all getting together. But it is absolutely devastating, is this movie. And I saw this kind of around about 2000 early. I saw it before it came out for reasons I won't go into, but I was shocked by it, absolutely shocked. It's a really well made drama with a horrific twist. That I love a movie with a bleak ending. I love things like Seven and Arlington Road and things like that, things where things just go completely wrong in the end. And this is one of those movies. The Mist as well. This is one of those movies. And check it out, folks, because it will surprise you. It will surprise you.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it because I thought it was going to be one of these movies like Love Actually, where you've got like an ensemble cast. Because there's a lot of actors in it that you recognize. And I thought, it looks decent. It's not my cup of tea, but it looks decent. And I started watching and thinking, this is actually pretty good, because every character is three-dimensional. You get to know everybody individually and together. And when I was watching it, I was like, this is pretty good. And I wanted to watch a movie to make me feel better. So I watched this. And then it got to that part that I'm not going to mention. And I'm like, oh, thanks very much. I feel like shit. And then by the time the film ended, my face was hitting the floor. I was like, oh my God, I need to start watching a comedy, Christmas Vacation or something.
Well, best 2 out of 3.
Yeah. But it's not. If you want to watch it for a bit of fun, don't, because you're not going to have any fun whatsoever. I'm not saying it's a bad film.
There's no Christmas cheer in this movie whatsoever.
There's Christmas in it, but no cheer. But yeah, if you want to watch a film that's going to affect you in a massive way, I highly recommend it, because it's better, or should I say better, than I thought it was going to be. It was actually really good.
Yeah. And somebody's saying in the chat, is it on Netflix? I think in the UK it just went to Amazon Prime. I don't know whether it's on Amazon in the US, but certainly over here I think it was on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
So it's a movie you should watch while you're depressed and alone for the holidays.
No, the opposite. Well, I don't know.
Depends on your mood, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If you want to gamble, then just watch it and see what happens. So have you heard of it, Frank?
No, but I guess I'm going to watch it. I'll be working alone and being miserable tonight, so I'll put it on.
Yeah,
I think it's only short, isn't it? It's not too long or anything.
Yeah, 85 minutes or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should watch.
Depressed.
But I think I'm looking at the chat. I think most people haven't saw it. Yeah, never saw that one.
Hey, Chris.
Hello, Chris. Oh, Chris. Oh, hey, Chris Fantazi. Just to let you know, guys, Chris is one of my newest Patreon members. So
cool.
Cool, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of ours too.
He's a good guy.
I think Chris actually found me through you guys, so thanks to you guys as well.
Cool.
Yeah. Right, so let's move on to my second one. And it is Tom Shanklin's The Children. This is one that I watched back in 2008 when it came out in the cinema, and I didn't have children at the time. and I was watching it thinking, I am never, ever going to have kids. These kids are little shits. I don't know if this is a remake or not. I can't remember. But there's movies that I've saw that are similar to this.
maybe. I think wasn't there a 70s film or something? Called
I
The
thought
Children,
that,
I
yeah,
think?
I'm not too sure, but well, I only watched this as a standalone film. I went to the cinema to see it, and it's about this family that go to this kind of country house or a farmhouse out in the snow, middle of nowhere. Hannah Toynton is in it. Is it Zara Toynton? One of the Toynton sisters from she's in Betweeners,
Hmm.
and she's like a teenager, so she's kind of half between the kids and the adults, and she's the only one that's recognizing and noticing things that are happening. And I won't spoil anything for the guys that have not seen it, but the kids go bad and they start killing the parents in really brutal fashion. But for some reason, I enjoyed the look and the feel of it, even when the kids were killing them, because it's so Christmassy.
Yeah, yeah.
And because we live in the UK, Darren, so when we see the kind of the countryside look, we pass that every day. We see that all the time.
Yeah.
So you can kind of think, do you know what, that could happen anywhere around the corner from us? It's so realistic, yet unrealistic at the same time, but it's still very Christmassy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, have you guys seen it?
I have.
Yeah.
I have. Frank, have you seen it?
I've seen bits and pieces of it because I couldn't watch all of it because I was watching it with my wife, and she's like, "Can you turn this off?" Because I'm like, yeah, we can turn it off because we're sitting there with our kids, and I'm looking at them, and I'm saying, Isaac's getting that little glint in his eye, like he's gonna do something to us. I kept on joking about it to where she's like, "Just turn it off if you're gonna make jokes about it."
D. Gulac says it's a light remake of The Children from 1980. So,
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of remake. And you've seen it, Darren, then?
I have. I can't exactly remember now what the reason was for the kids flipping like that. But I do remember there's a scene with a kid on a sledge going down a hill, isn't there, or something? And yeah, one of the kids hits him in the face. Oh, I can't remember now. That's right. Yeah. I remember this. I love British horror films, and this kind of reminded me of a kind of like an old sort of 70s Hammer House of Horror story or something like that. Mm-hmm. I really liked it.
Yeah, I think it's a decent one. And it's one of these ones where if you're not British, you might have not seen it or even heard of it as well. So, and I don't know how accessible it is to people, like if it's on Amazon Prime or Netflix or anything. I've not seen it on any platform, and it's quite hard to get on Blu-ray as well now. So it's one of the ones where if you don't see it in the shop or if you don't see it advertised, then you'll probably never see it. So it's quite a rare find. If you come across it, I highly recommend it. It's pretty decent.
You guys are really going a dark path really early, aren't you?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm trying to choose, and I think you guys are doing it as well. I'm trying to choose films that are not the most popular Christmas horror movies.
That's what I did. It'd be so easy to go, Black Christmas and Silent Night, Deadly Night. And
so, So you might see some of them, but if we give all the examples of all the most popular ones, then people will go, seen it. So it's good to give recommendations for films that maybe are not the best, but still good enough to watch. So you never know. So the next one, we've got Frank coming up, and that's Frank's number 2.
Yeah, it's a Christmas classic now, isn't it? Rare Exports, a Finnish movie where Santa comes around, and I think that there's a scientist that says Santa is real, but it's not the type of Santa that we all think. And then where it comes up to where the 3 gentlemen in the back now are exporting Santa Clauses because we find out that these Santas are actually elves for the actual Santa, which turns out to be those who haven't seen it yet. I won't spoil it. Something else. Yeah. A movie that is in subtitles, but there's not much dialogue in it. It's basically all action. It's a great, great Christmas foreign film, and I absolutely love it. I think they were going to make a sequel to it at one time, which I don't think is happening anymore. But yeah, that just screams Christmas. And they live in near the Arctic Circle, so it's always dark and it's always daylight. 30 days out of the month. I love Rare Exports. So when I saw it, everyone told me to go see it. I think it came out in 2005, somewhere around there, early 2000s.
No, I think it's 2010. I think
10. Yeah, 10. 10. I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you. Still, it's That's 12 years ago.
Well, exactly.
Still holds up. I love rare exports. I think it should be on everybody's list to go watch.
Yeah. It's that image as well of him in that warehouse, just kind of strung up there, like hanging. It's a good film, and a really talented director as well, who has a film coming out next year called Sisu, which is looking really, really cool. There are a great bunch of filmmakers, these guys, and rare exports. So somebody said in the chat there, it is a little slow. It is a slow burn, but I always think the payoff is really decent. Good movie, Frank. Good choice.
Yeah. I only watched that for the first time a couple of years ago. I think it's maybe 2020 or 19 or something. I watched it. And I don't think sometimes people don't watch foreign films because the subtitles or maybe make it a little bit, like you're struggling to watch a movie. But I think when you read the first few subtitles, you get used to it. And like you said, Frank, you don't get a lot of dialogue in it anyway. So, and even if you don't read most of the subtitles, you know what's happening and you know what they're saying, really. I think it was a very surprising one because I didn't see that twist coming. But I won't mention about the elves and the Santa Claus and stuff. So it's a very surprising film, and it was eerie. Some of the scenes where you see Santa in the cage just staring at the little kid and stuff. You're like, oh my god! And then you see him lying on the table when they first find one of the Santa Clauses, and you're like, Jesus, what's happening? So because you don't know, it becomes that mystery. And you're like, oh, this is decent. This is a really good film. But great recommendation.
And one of the scientists are afraid of him. They're like saying, "We're so sorry," because they know that those Santa Clauses are just the beginning to an end, and they're trying to avoid because they show all the history of Santa Claus and how he would take children, evil children, and everything. And if you want to see Santa Claus naked, watch this movie.
Yeah.
There's multiple Santa Clauses naked.
Yeah.
The beer protects everything, just let you know.
Do you know, it kind of reminds, it's obviously not a Christmas film, but have you ever seen the film The Autopsy of Jane Doe? Yeah, she's lying
film.
naked for the full movie. It's kind of like that. This body just lying there, not knowing what it's going to do. So if you enjoy The Autopsy of Jane Doe, then you're going to love Rare Exports.
Same thing with Dead Girl, if you ever seen that one.
I've seen bits of that. I've not seen the full thing yet. No, that's
just,
a bit much.
Yeah, it's a little bit whatever.
Yeah. We'll move on to Darren's number 2, and that is.
I'm a self-appointed kind of advocate for this film because not too many people have seen it. Frank's seen it, I know, but have you seen it, Barry?
I've not seen it. It's a French movie.
It is a French movie, but again, don't let that put you off because there's very little dialogue in this film. It starts with a car crash in which 2 people die. One is the husband of a lady in one of the cars, and the other is an unborn child of the driver of the other car. And it then fast forwards to Christmas Eve later that year, and the widow is sat at home, and there's a knock at the door, and this dark woman, she's dressed all in black, played by Beatrice Dalle. I say dark because you just can't. She's just in silhouette. Is at the door coming for the widower's baby because she lost her baby in the car crash. Oof. And what happens then is this this kind of hour-long chase around this house between these 2 women. One woman heavily pregnant, trying to protect her child, whilst the other one's just going at her with everything she can get hold of. And I always say that gory movies aren't necessarily like Terrifier. I don't find particularly scary. I find it unsettling, but I don't find gory movies particularly scary. This is a gory movie that is scary. And it's so well staged. There's interventions throughout the movie from people knocking at the door, police, friends, family, that kind of stuff that get involved in this kind of home invasion. But it is just absolutely relentless and violent as hell. And at one point, you'll be sitting there going, "Shit, this doesn't feel right watching this movie with some of the directions that it goes in." So yeah, so Inside is one of my favorite Christmas horror films.
Yeah, I'll need to
Bleak.
watch it. I've not seen it at all. Do you know?
It's great.
When you were explaining it, it reminded me of a film that I've seen years ago that I don't remember much about it. A home invasion movie. It might be French as well, called They. I think it's called They.
Oh yeah.
There's I think the trailer of it, you see like somebody looking through the keyhole, and then somebody puts a knife there. And it's a couple in a house in France. It reminded me of that when you were explaining it there. Obviously, it's probably different, so I'll need to check it out. I've had Inside on my watch list for ages.
Yeah,
and I didn't even know it was a Christmas movie or even a movie set at Christmas. So
yeah, it's Christmas Eve. It's set. Yeah,
right. Okay, I'll need to check it out.
But don't get confused by the Hollywood remake because it's.
Oh, don't!
naff.
Yeah, the U.S. remake is terrible.
There's a remake?
It's
I didn't
terrible.
even know that.
Yeah, it got remade about 5 or 6 years ago in the US, and it's terrible.
Yeah, it's like the same thing they did with Martyrs. You know, the foreign version is a lot better than the American version.
So this image here, is that actually the French one?
The French lady, that's the French one. Yeah, that's Beatrice Dalle, who's the kind of, I think they call her just the woman or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one who's after the baby. She's the one who's lost her baby and is trying to get the woman's baby.
Yeah, I'm
Spoiler,
going to watch
Darren.
it. It's okay. I don't know what happens at the end.
Well, the opening's very icky, isn't it?
Yeah. The whole film is just, there's plenty of gore going on in that film. There's no shortage whatsoever.
Yeah. See, that's what I don't know. Don't tell me, but it just feels like there's only two people in the movie, this woman and the other woman. And if there's plenty of gore, I don't know how that's possible. So,
well, like I said, there are people that intervene throughout. Yeah. So this
takes place in a butcher shop.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll definitely check that one out because it sounds good. I've always wanted to see it. So
yeah, it's great.
I think you've kind of sold me on that one. So next one is mine, and it is, don't laugh at me, guys, but it's 2006's Black Christmas. Now, this is one that does get hate, and it still does to this day, because I know it's not perfect, but I think maybe since the 2019 remake came out, people are coming to warm to the 2006 one. I did notice, I was reading about it before we done this live, and there's not that many haters anymore. Maybe not as much as there was before. But there's something about this one that I just love. It's so... I think it's from the makers of Saw and Final Destination franchise. There's a few actors and actresses in it. But there's just... If I'm looking at all the Christmas horror films on my list that I've chosen today, this is probably the most Christmassy looking out of all the horror movies that I've put out there. And I know it's completely different to the original Black Christmas, but you get people who watch remakes and go, what was the point in that? It's just exactly the same as the original, like Psycho, for example, from 1998. And then if you go too different, they'll say, don't even call it Black Christmas because it's nothing like the original Black Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a fine line between what you would consider a remake or just using the name to promote your film. And I think maybe it used the name more to promote their completely different movie, to be honest.
Yeah.
But there's something about it that's quite charming and warming towards Christmas horror movies. And I think it's the story's crazy, with the little jaundice boy living in the walls, and he's got his sister. I can't remember her name. Is it Agatha or something? I liked it. And I watched this film before I saw the original Black Christmas, and that might be one of the reasons why I didn't hold anything against it. I just watched it as its own movie. And I think people should do that, whether they've seen the original or not. But it's good. Some good death scenes in it. Decent enough twist to keep you on the edge of your seat. Yeah, I think it was really good. So have you guys seen it? I guess you maybe have. Maybe.
Yeah. It's you know what it is? When you were talking about it, I compared it to the Black Christmas that from the 70s versus the Black Christmas that you're talking about, as if it was House of Wax, Vincent Price, and the newer version of House of Wax. It's the same premise, but they kind of separate like in a fork in a road in a different way. All I remember, Barry, is is the mom going up to where her son is, standing
You
in
go
front
to
of him
this.
in the rocking chair, and all of a sudden the pants drop, and I'm just like, oh no, where did it
It's like, yay! Merry Christmas!
yeah, mom.
Wait, whose pants drop?
Mom's
mom's?
pants drop.
His mum's pants drop.
Yeah. There's a
I
little
have
bit of
seen
incest in
this.
it.
Yeah.
I saw it at the cinema, and I wasn't a fan at all, and it's kind of gone. I've forgotten all about it. But it's I think because I'd already seen Black Christmas a long time ago, and was I don't think Black Christmas is a fantastic Christmas film, but it is a good Christmas film, and I appreciate what it did for slashers that came after it. John Carpenter obviously was really heavily influenced by that film. But I get why there are people out there that think it's kind of boring or too old now and it's dated somewhat. But the remake, I saw it once and it's totally gone from my memory.
That's a good thing. Maybe you could watch it again as a new film, and
Yeah.
maybe you'll like it and you'll understand the whole mummy thing.
Yeah. I should give it a go.
Yeah,
Watch
absolutely.
06 Black Christmas and 19's Black Christmas. Tell us which one you like better.
Yeah, I think if you're going to compare Black Christmas films, ignore the original because that's obviously the best one out of them all. But if you watch 2019, if you watch 2006, even though there's only 13 years between them, it feels like they're worlds apart, generations apart, because they're so different from each other and tonally different. Obviously, the political standpoint between both of them are completely different as well. And it just goes to show that 13 years is a long time in the movie industry and how a film can be perceived and made. And Black Christmas is a great example of that because they have to come out at a certain time to be good. And I think 2006, although it wasn't a great film, I think maybe other films that came out in 2006 just overshadowed Black Christmas to the point where either people didn't like it because it was supposed to be a remake, or they just thought that was terrible and they shelved it. But like you, Darren, if you've only seen it once or have not seen it for years, watching it again, maybe you'll enjoy it, maybe you won't, and at least you've given it a try again.
Sure, yeah.
Give it a chance.
I'll put it right at the bottom of my list.
Yeah, as long as that list contains 2 movies.
And he's reading it upside down.
Yeah. We've got the next one's from Frank, and it's one that I was actually going to put on my list, but I saw you had it in yours, so I decided to keep it off. And I'm sure
I think not necessarily. This is a Christmas movie, but people can watch all year round. P2 with Wes Bentley, as we know, who plays Thomas. He's also in the hit show Yellowstone, and Rachel Nichols, who plays Angela. Now, dealing with, just imagine you're staying late after work and you're trying to finish up before probably a really long Christmas break, in which this executive woman is doing, and she's trapped inside this parking garage, knowing that she thought it was a mistake, but it's actually her stalker, a security guard, that is trying to, let's say, woo her into the arms of him and his dog. But it's one of those. It's a cat and mouse game. It's a stalking movie. It's an obsession movie. It's all these movies, all these different genres into a Christmas movie. And if you read the IMDb storyline in this, it says a buxom businesswoman. It's just like you really don't need to add all that stuff in there. But
see that.
But it in order for it's in the beginning, it's creepy because he's hiding in the shadows, and there's a way that he captures her. And like all stalkers and all people who are obsessed, they set up this elaborate romantic scene to think that they're going to fall in love with the victim's going to fall in love with their captor. It's nothing like that. And it's absolutely terrifying knowing this guy. You can run anywhere you want except for the outside. And it's and certainly around Christmas. And I think P2 is a great Christmas movie to watch around the holidays if you're into subtle horror, psychological horror too.
Yeah, I feel the same. I think everything that you've said about it is things that I would have covered if I chose it. on my list.
Buxom businesswoman.
That first at the top. Yeah, I think this great cat and mouse chase, and even though you know who it is from the beginning, it's fine because that's not the whole story. Like who's actually captured her. I think the fact that we find out who it is straight away adds to it because we now know that it's one person versus the other person all the way through it, and she's trying to go up the different levels, get up and down, and some of the kill scenes were horrifying. Like remember the guy in the chair when she was in the car, and he's like, "Is this guy? This guy was." I don't really think he was sexually abusing her or anything, but I think he's like called her things at the beginning of the film. Was a guy that she worked with, and then Wes Bentley's like, "No, you don't do that to women. Don't disrespect women," even though he's literally captured this woman. I think,
but she's his, right? So that's a different thing. Yeah,
yeah. So Wes Bentley stole the show because he was so psychotic. He was doing things and blaming people for the things that he does, not realizing he's worse than everybody else. Yeah, it's a great film. Fantastic.
And he planned this the whole year, didn't he, Barry? He waited for this moment, you know. And he waited till everybody started leaving. I mean, he could have done this any holiday, but it's something around Christmas. I think people tried to be romantic, and he puts on records. He has tinsel all over the place, trying to make her dinner with a side of chloroform. Chloroform is all over this movie.
Have you seen it, Darren?
I have. I saw it around the time it first came out. I did like it. I mean, it's written by Alexander Aja, who did Hills Have Eyes, Piranha, the remake, and Switchblade Romance, all that kind of stuff, Crawl. And I'm a huge fan of his. I think he's one of the best horror directors that's still out there if he gets another film together. So I was always kind of excited to see this, and I enjoyed it for all the reasons that you guys have said. I think it's a really interesting horror movie. I'd forgotten it was set at Christmas, to be honest. I haven't seen it for that long.
Wes Bentley is naturally creepy looking, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he was creepy in American Beauty,
Barry,
wasn't
he's got
he?
the eyes. You know.
Yeah.
Great in Yellowstone, though. Great in Yellowstone.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
I have to watch Yellowstone. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I'm just
There's
checking
nudity in
the
it, Darren.
chat.
Just to let you know. Cover your eyes.
I just wondering if the chat has seen P2, but nobody's mentioned it. I've got a super chat coming in. I was going to leave the super chats to the end, but some of them came through, so I'll just say it. We've got Mace Machine Horror Show sends in $5. Thank you very much. They said, if you haven't seen Secret Santa, I'd highly recommend it. Very entertaining. Adam Marcus, Jason Goes to Hell, directed it. Is that not one of you guys mentioned at the start? No? Secret Santa?
Santa's Sleigh, I think, wasn't it?
Oh, Santa, so it was.
Yeah.
Secret Santa? No, I've not heard that one. I didn't even know Adam Marcus was still directing movies after after that.
After his magnum opus.
I've not seen that one. Any of you guys heard it? No? Secret Santa?
No,
I haven't seen
that
it.
one. No.
If it's here, though, you can watch it.
Cool.
Okay, it says it's a Christmas dinner brings tidings of death when someone enacts revenge, and out of bloody mess arises a hero who must face all the odds to stop an outbreak before it's too late.
Might need to add it to the watch list then.
Interesting.
Right, so we'll go into Darren's third one, and it's another one that I was going to add to my list, but I saw Darren had it, so I can't add it. So there you go, Darren, your number 3.
Yeah, Frank and I did last year we did kind of this thing 12 days of Christmas when we reviewed a film per day leading up to Christmas Eve, I think, and Better Watch Out was one of them on there, which starts as a kind of home invasion film where this babysitter is looking after this lad called Luke, and it's kind of you figure out that it's something that he set up to try and impress the babysitter so that he saves her, and but he's a lot younger than her, isn't he? He's kind of like
12.
5 or 6 years. Yeah, something like that.
He's probably 16 in real life.
Yeah. And then as the movie goes along, it just kind of turns into something else, and you've got this kind of like almost like Home Alone for teenagers, with some pretty violent and gory moments in it. It's a good little film, I think. Was it a Netflix movie? I can't quite remember now.
I can't remember. I
But
think so.
I see a few people have mentioned it in the chat. Yeah, but think Home Alone for kind of teenagers or late teenagers.
Yeah.
And the lad that plays Luke, sorry. I can't remember his name, but his performance in this film is fantastic.
Levi Miller.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's superb in this film.
Yeah.
It's
He's a dick. Well, it means he did something right if I feel that way, right?
He speaks highly of you, Frank.
Yeah.
Destiny said that Darren Montgomery's in it for 2 minutes as well. Do you remember he was in it? He played the boyfriend.
Is he the guy that gets the paint?
No, the other boyfriend. He's the one that turned up in the
he's outside in the
Oh,
house.
Yes. Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Darren Montgomery is Billy from Stranger Things.
I thought you were going to say
of course,
Home
Destiny would
Improvement.
know
then.
that.
No Home Improvement, no. But yeah, Better Watch Out is a fantastic film as well. The babysitter in it, she was in The Visit with the other boy. See the boy who's got the potty mouth with the glasses? His friend.
Oh, Garrett,
yeah. So Garrett and the babysitter are in The Visit, the M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yeah,
brother and sister. And it was only...
Grandma underneath the porch.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and they were filmed back to back as well. The Visit was filmed, and then they filmed Better Watch Out just after it. But everyone's great in Better Watch Out. And I watched it the same year I watched The Babysitter with Samara Weaving, and they felt similar.
They do feel similar. Yeah.
Yeah. But obviously, one of them, in fact, they both take a turn for the worse. But Better Watch Out, I think, is the better movie. It's a really good one.
Yeah. It's really well done.
Just when you mentioned, 2 seconds, sorry. Just when you mentioned parts of it feels like Home Alone. I won't spoil anything, but Violent Night, there's a scene in it that's intentionally like Home Alone.
Okay.
But what Home Alone would actually be like in real life. So things, traps, for example, that Harry and Marv are subject to.
Yeah.
You see what would actually happen if some of those things happen. And it's, and you don't see it coming until it actually happens. And everybody in the cinema just went, oh! And you know, Darren, the UK cinemas are silent usually. We don't cheer.
No.
In this cinema, though, when something happens to somebody, the whole cinema just went, oh! Honestly, it's so good. Anyway, I'm off.
It wasn't a blowtorch to the head. I always think that's
it's
hilarious.
a 6-foot tarantula.
Worse. It's worse than you can imagine.
Joe Pesci's face when that's happening. Flames going to his head.
I can see the British cinema going, well, that was actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
With my cup of tea.
I once saw Bad Santa in Brooklyn on a Saturday night.
Oh, how dare you, Darren!
I had to watch it again. I couldn't put up with the crowd whooping and hollering and like I couldn't hear the film. I was like, "Would you mind?"
He got you, didn't he? Darren, I'm surprised he didn't get beat up. Do you mind? Oh.
Okay, right. We're going to go into my number 4. This is probably the only one on the list that's one that we thought would be coming, and that is Silent Night, Deadly Night, the first one from 1984. Now, this is another one that I only watched a few years ago. It must have been about 4 or 5 years ago was the first time I seen this one. And I think I got to a point where I said to myself, this is probably a film I would maybe have enjoyed more back in the day rather than now. But no, I highly enjoyed it. I thought it lived up to 35 years when I first watched it. It was a 35-year-old movie, and it felt good. The acting in it was really good for its time. I think, is it Billy? Is the killer? Billy, yeah. He was great. He was, and I felt really sorry for him at the start of the film. I thought he needs to kill everybody because I feel really bad for him. So I think
he'll be cured once he does that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think that
But he does kind of rehabilitate, doesn't he? He kind of, and he gets a job and all that kind of stuff. And then things just keep going wrong again for him. So you kind of do sympathize for this guy.
all the way through. Yeah. Even when he's killing people, I'm like, he's justifying, well, I wouldn't do it, but he's justifying what he's doing. And I think that the first advertisement I saw for any Silent Night movie was part 2, Garbage Day.
Oh, yeah.
Garbage Day. And I thought, this looks really bad. And I just thought the first movie was going to be like that. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And the kill scenes were great with the antlers and stuff. Is it the antlers in the first one? Yeah. So yeah, kill scenes were fantastic. And it really lives up to how old it really was. Because 1984, apart from movies like Gremlins, because they've got a high production value, movies like Silent Night, it's got a really low budget. So you expect it to be really bad. But no, I mean, I don't know how much the movie cost. It looks like maybe a $2 million movie or whatever. And they really used the money really well. And it lives up to the expectations that I had for it. Fantastic film.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
It's you know, it's so funny because when we were watching, when I watched this movie, I was looking at all the toys in the movie, and they had a He-Man, a Skull Castle. And I was like, I remember that as a kid. I want that back. Castle Grayskull. all those toys I remember. But it is a movie it has a lot of nudity in it. You know, for a Christmas movie. Something about Christmas just brings everybody's sexuality out for some reason. You know, and plus, you know, I guess I loved the storekeeper where he's going, okay, it's time to close. Let's get shit-faced.
That's funny. Somebody said, Shamrock Paul said the boss of the toys.
Oh, he's terrible.
Oh, Darren, how can you say that? He's a great boss. You know, Billy, if you guys want to have a body like Billy, go to an orphanage.
Well, there's that montage in the store, isn't there, where Billy's doing a good job and he's hammering things onto the wall and putting posts up, and his boss is stood behind him going,
you know, he's drinking milk, right? He's drinking milk. He's got someone was offering him, some liquor, and he's like, "Nah, I'm drinking milk, making the body strong."
Another is a film that fell foul of the video nasties over here, so we didn't get it. We didn't get it until, I don't know, maybe fairly recently, I would imagine, because
I didn't see it then.
Those films never came out over here. And you know, I think maybe the original one did, and it was taken off the shelves or something along those lines. But yeah, you just couldn't get it. And then years later, they brought out a Blu-ray or a DVD or whatever, and they'd inserted all the cut sequences back in. I don't know if when you watched it, Barry, did you notice the quality kind of shift in some of the sequences?
Yeah, you get the grain in some of them.
Yeah. It's all the stuff they've chucked back in. Yeah.
Because the one I've got is the 101 films, I think it is. The label 101.
Yeah.
Linnea Quigley's in it too, who's a horror icon
queen,
for us. Yeah, you know, she's always fun in any movie that she's in. You know, when you see her, you're like, she's gonna die, she's gonna get naked. It's probably worth watching,
or both.
Look at Destiny's comment there. Billy has a hairy butt. I remember that. I think we talked about that, Frank, when we did the episode, didn't we? There's like that sex scene. He's got this big hairy ass.
It's like a chia pet.
What? I didn't notice that. I wasn't looking for that.
Good for you, Barry. We all did. You're a real man's man. You know, like, I didn't notice any butt.
He's like that. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. Could do with some grooming. That's all.
Some manscaping.
Yeah, it's a pompadour today.
A chia pet.
Flock of seagulls haircut.
So we'll move on to a similar category. We'll move on to Frank's number 4.
This is the first one I have actually saw of the franchise. Solid Night, Deadly Night, number 5. Yeah, I don't know if anyone ever saw this, but you know, my dad rented this for me, and he's like, "I got you a Christmas movie," so I watched it. And the opening is a little boy's father getting killed by a Christmas toy that was sent to his house, and he goes comatose, and and Mickey Rooney is in it, and he's a mad Mickey Rooney. He's pissed off. He's a toy maker, and he basically, I can, if anyone hasn't seen this, I won't spoil it for you, but just let's say it has an assaulting Pinocchio in it. Basically, Mickey Rooney's a toy maker who makes, toys, and let's just say he made a son that gets kind of handsy around the Christmas holidays. But of course, all you got to do is put a murdering Santa or a murdering toy maker, and it's called Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 10 or something. But I just found it fun because the opening is a killer, like little doll. And it kills the kid's father. And I was laughing at it as a kid. I thought it was hilarious. And yeah, Destiny, I love you, mommy. Yeah, that part. Oh my God. Have you guys ever seen part 5? You probably haven't gotten past 2. I
don't think I have.
Have you seen it, Darren?
No,
part 5?
I've not seen it. No.
Oh, yeah. Let's just say this Pinocchio or this son is not anatomically correct. In this movie. So yeah, it is kind of weird, kind of creepy, but it is underrated as Mason Machine Horror Show said. It's actually funny. It's so stupid it's funny. And anything with Mickey Rooney in it, being angry and crotchety, it's going to be, gold in my book.
So this has no link to any of the other
No.
So which ones are linked?
Is it only one and two?
Is it
1 and 2, I think,
okay.
are the only ones that are linked. And then basically everyone goes 1, 2, 5, and then 4, and then 3. And they start getting like really heavily into, just throwing in a crazy Santa or a crazy toy maker and call it Silent Night, Deadly Night. But part 5, guys, you got to watch it if you want some cheese.
Yeah.
a sexually assaulting Pinocchio.
I think I'll need to watch that then. Because there's one of the girls in my work, we talk about horror films all the time, and it was a few weeks ago, and she asked me, I don't remember the name of this movie, but this is a scene, and then I'll tell her the name of the film, which I'm able to do quite a lot. Then she said to me one time, it's like, was this Christmas horror film? And I don't know the name of it, but it's got like these killer toys in it, and somebody gets a present sent to them, and they open it up, and it's got little arms that come out and grab them, and it electrocutes them and stuff. And I'm like, I have no idea what that is. So I actually went to Facebook and I pointed out to everyone, said, can anybody tell me what this is? And they either gave me what I think it was called Christmageddon or Armageddon Christmas or something, and Silent Night, Deadly Night 5 Toy Maker, and it turned out to be that one, Toy Maker.
God.
So I think it leaves a lasting impression on people when they're a kid. So I think I'll definitely need to watch it. It does sound terrible, but sometimes I like the terrible films. I'll need to watch. Is it bad?
No, it's actually the quality is actually
great.
Pretty good.
Look at that poster there. It looks like Ted 3.
Annabelle's
on the poster as well, though.
Yeah, there it is. They're all nasty and Raggedy Ann and everything. This kid, it looks like he's like he never got any toy that he liked, and he's pissed. But it makes you think by looking at that poster. It looks like the boy is going to be doing all the killing. It looks like it. But the quality is actually pretty good. Part 3 is linked. Thanks, Mace. It's with Bill Moseley. Just watch it, guys. If you think you're going to be bored one night and just throw it on there, you'll be like, why the hell did Frank suggest this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'll watch it. I like watching.
I'll put it underneath Black Christmas.
Yeah, definitely underneath it. Yeah. We'll move on to Darren's number 4, and this is it.
So somebody actually mentioned this in the chat earlier on. Did anybody ever see that Tales from the Crypt episode with the scary Santa? You can watch this on YouTube. It's from a British anthology movie in the early 70s called And All Through the House. The movie's called Tales from the Crypt, which obviously went over to America and a TV show was made out of it. But this is the original movie, and I think it's one of the first episodes in the movie. It's about 10 minutes long, and it's Joan Collins who plays a mom in this house, and she murders her husband. And that's one of the opening scenes that you get. She kills her husband, but coincidentally, it's on the same night that a lunatic's escaped from an asylum dressed as a Santa Claus and's gone on a rampage. Now, the problem is that she sees him outside the house and he keeps looking in through the windows and everything, but she can't call the police because the police will know that she's killed her husband. And so she's kind of trapped in the house with this maniac outside. And shall I leave it there? I'll leave it there. But it has a nice twist ending. And like I say, you can just watch it on YouTube. It's about 10 minutes long. And All Through the House with Joan Collins from 1972's Tales from the Crypt. I don't want to say too much else about it. There's not a lot I can say because it's only 12 minutes long. And but it's a good, it's a segment from an anthology film that stayed with me for a long time. I think I saw it as a kid, probably with my parents, and it stayed with me for a long, long time until the early 90s when I think it was remade.
Yeah. Well, I had never ever heard of this before for some strange reason, and when you guys were giving me your lists, I can't say much yet because we've still got some other things to talk about. But I'd never heard of it before. So the day you guys sent me your lists, I watched it because it sounded good and it's great. It's 12 minutes long. It's on YouTube, like you said. Something else is on YouTube that we'll talk about later as well, and it's fantastic, and I've absolutely no idea why I'd never heard of this before until now. And I'm glad you told us about it because it's one everyone can watch, which is good. Out of all the movies on this list that we've all given, there's no excuse for anyone in this chat not to see these, especially since they're only 10 minutes long or so. Take 10, 15 minutes out your day and watch it. It's a really great segment with a really good payoff at the end. And it feels Christmassy as well. Good Christmas feels
Oh, definitely.
Highly recommended. So I'm glad that you guys have mentioned this to me because I'd never have heard of it if you never mentioned it.
Yeah.
What's with the Brits and Joan Collins?
I don't like her.
She can't act. She can't act, especially in this one. She has no expression on her face. Her husband was probably going to kill her eventually anyway because she's emotionless. She's emotionless in this, and I think she moved over to Dynasty, which we all know and all love, the American soap opera. She was terrible in that too.
Well, yeah, she was. She's never been known for I think she was just. Unfortunately, she was one of these kind of 50s and 60s stars that. And this sounds awful to say this, but got a lot of places because of her looks.
Oh, she's beautiful.
She was always a terrible actress. Yeah, of course. Yeah. But she was never a great actress at all. But she did land herself in some huge roles.
Sold perfume, I think, right, too? Joan Collins had her own perfume.
She had everything. She had 10 husbands or something stupid like that as well, didn't she?
Yeah, she's like the British Zaza Gabor or something, isn't she?
Yeah.
Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
Liv Tyler. I'm sorry. Elizabeth
Taylor.
Liv Tyler.
That was close, damn it.
I think she's good in this.
Yeah, she's all right.
Yeah. She's so believable.
Yeah, she was that good.
That was probably one of her husbands, right, Barry, that she killed?
Probably
one of them, yeah. She got the
Same
idea
age.
after that. Well, she was only she must have been about 30 in this,
Yeah, I would have thought so. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so
She's like 80
and it was
now,
like
isn't
60.
she?
Well, yeah, this is 50 years ago, this episode.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine that.
Yeah, but I always thought she was American because of Dynasty. And then, I was told, no, she's British. And I'm like, I get it now.
Oh, yeah.
Did she have an American accent in Dynasty?
Yeah. Yep.
She must
They
have
had
tried.
The Dynasty was just like Dallas. It was a huge soap opera.
Yeah, we had it. We had it here.
Yeah.
And everybody's mother watched it every evening. And if you touched the channel, you were scolded and you had to go to your room. You would never see it again. They had like Dynasty collection clothing, if anyone remembered that. You can go to like
shoulder pads.
Yeah, and furs. The shoulder pads were out. The big diamond fake pearls that went around that were attached to the blouse. You know, it was just like weird. But yeah, Joan Collins, I don't get it. I don't get her. I don't.
I don't either. Darren gets it. Darren loves her.
Who's the Scottish Joan Collins, Barry? Who would you say that is?
It's probably Lulu. Off the top of my head, yeah, Lulu.
Just one of those. She's there.
Lulu. I don't know any other Scottish.
She have her own fragrance out.
Nah, probably. She was a singer. I don't know.
She sang a Bond theme.
Yep.
Lulu, did she?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. There you go.
I'm trying to think which one it was now. Was it the Man with the Golden Gun? I think it might have been.
Who cares?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Talking about Joan Collins, Lulu, and Elizabeth Taylor, for Christ's sakes. People have been divorced and married 6 times on Christmas.
Right, we'll skip on to our last choices each. So for me, my 5th one is Jack Frost.
What?
I'm only
Oh,
joking.
that one. Okay.
It's Jack Frost from 1997. Not to be confused with the Michael Keaton Jack Frost. from a
Don't
year
play
later.
poker with Barry, ladies and gentlemen. He has a perfect, just dead stare.
I like that film.
Yeah, that's good as well. But yeah, so Jack Frost, this is the 1997 one where this guy I think he's getting taken away. I don't know if he's getting taken to go on death row, but he's getting taken away in this truck to go to a prison, and they have an accident on the road, and I think there's this liquid nitrogen or something gets spilled out onto the road and
Terminator.
they crash. Yeah, it's like that. And he falls out and everybody dies apart from him, and he gets sucked up into this sort of snow liquid nitrogen, and it becomes a snowman, and he can melt, he can come back to a snowman again, and then he wreaks havoc. I think it's maybe a year later or whatever, on the next Christmas, and he kills people that were involved in him getting incarcerated. It's so cheesy, and it looks like it cost like $300 to make. And I think all that money went towards Shannon and Elizabeth. She was in it as well. From
Really?
It led to her day of filming.
There was a scene in it. I think people talk about this scene quite a lot. There was a scene where she gets sexually assaulted by the carrot from the snowman's nose or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a scene where it looks like maybe he does something when maybe he doesn't. But I think it's a film that came out just after Scream. It came out in 1997. So I think they maybe tried to put that Scream element into it with the teenagers getting killed as well. Doesn't pay off very well. It's a really badly directed film. The cinematography is really bad, but something about it that's good is the lighting and the whole Christmas feel to Jack Frost. It's have you guys seen it? I'm blabbering on here.
There's a reason why carrots are not on my table, this holiday season.
Just in case. But yeah, it's a very Christmassy Jack Frost film. I know that some people, I think this is an urban legend, but there's people who, when you go to the video store, I've seen it online all the time where people say, "Oh, we switched the tapes around Jack Frost for the Michael Keaton Jack Frost."
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, no, you didn't, because in the UK they don't leave the tapes in the boxes. So you're talking crap. They give you the tape as you hand it over. So yeah, that's an urban legend. Unless they do that in the US, did they keep the tapes in the box in the video store?
They do. But however, what happens is you could tell if a movie's been switched because there was a piece of security tape that attached the bottom of either the tape or the box together to see if it was been cut open. It's switched in. But yeah, I think Jack Frost, the horror movie, came out before the Michael Keaton version.
Yeah, so that came out in 97 and the Michael Keaton one came out in 98. So it's just a year apart.
So why didn't they call Mr. Frost instead of Jack Frost? This way anything could get switched. They probably didn't even know this horror movie existed, really.
They didn't. No, absolutely not. Because like I said, it's a $300 movie or whatever. So I don't think anybody heard of it. The front cover was cool. We had a 3D hologram front cover for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what we had Blockbuster and Global Video in the UK, and I think that's what drew us into the movie, was just that front cover, because it looked cheesy
Sparkly.
but fun. Yeah. So I'm like, I need to see that. There's actually a part 2.
Daddy, look at the glitter. I need to see it.
There's a Jack Frost 2 that I've not seen. I think it goes on holiday.
Yeah.
Is it on
Yeah.
It's set in the beach.
Yeah, it is. But his face is thinner.
Oh,
But he's more scary. He's got like really mean teeth and everything. But I don't think he has a carrot on his nose this time.
Oh,
I think he left that behind.
He left him behind.
I remember that part. That was because that's the scene that sticks out. Like Barry said, because he's done. Miss Elizabeth from wrestling. Miss Elizabeth is dead. And he all of a sudden puts the carrot back on his face. You're just like, oh my God, where did
that carrot go?
Oh my God.
I've never seen it. I've never seen this film at all. Well, look at that picture there. Pull that picture up again. Look at that. That would have put me off straight away.
That's gold.
It's like a gingerbread man, though, right?
It does remind me of Ginger Dead Man. Did they use the same suit and spray it orange?
Do you know, I wouldn't put it past them, because I think it's maybe the same VHS company.
Oh, is it really?
I think so, yeah. I think so.
Same Gary
Ginger
Busey.
Dead Man.
Dead Man, yeah. That was a 1998 or something, that one. But yeah, it's the same kind of vibe that you get with these movies. I think these are the 90s versions of like Sharknado and Amityville Karen and stuff that we're talking about.
Yeah.
I think that's the 90s versions of those types of movies. Some of them work.
Yeah. But no, that would have been something I would have kind of given it. I mean, I was kind of out of favor with horror around that time anyway, in the late 90s. And I would have looked at that and gone, no chance. No, I wasn't even getting on with the likes of Scream and Urban Legend. Never mind taking a chance on that.
Us Americans, we just go right to that. If we saw like Jack Frost, this evil snowman, I'd be like, it's sold out. You can't. It's on a waiting list. You can't get to it. And I could see like across the pond, they got stacks of them on the shelf, and everyone's just looking at it and putting their nose up to it, because everything is supposed to be, this artistic, film and everything. No, just grab the stupid film, watch it, and then make fun of it later. Who cares?
Oh, I'd just be like, it's all right. I'll wait for Michael Keaton to come along. I'll
You'd
see
rather
that
watch
one
the
instead.
mail come than watch this movie. Darren, we're gonna watch Jack Frost as a watch along. Oh no, I gotta take my cat to get neutered.
Yeah. I'm gonna listen to some paint dry.
Oh, somebody's phone going?
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's mine. It's in the closet.
Right, so we're going to Frank's number 5, and it is.
I had to put an eye. I saw Darren's list, and I said, you know what version's better is the '89 version with Larry Drake as Santa, and Mary Ellen Trainor and Marshall Bell. This, I think, is the better version of All Through the House. It is a scarier version, and it's the same setup as the movie, the Tales from the Crypt movie version. I just think it's better acted, and I think it has a better setting. And actually, it does look like he's an escaped lunatic. With the other Santa, it looks like he's just some old bum. Oh, don't shake your head at me. Don't shake your head at me.
You know why? Do you know what's really scary about the original one is that you don't know why. Well, you don't know why she kills her husband, because her husband, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with their relationship at all. He seems like a nice guy, and he just gets, he gets murdered in those opening seconds. When this one, it's identified straight away that the guy, that Marshall Bell's a bit of an arsehole to her by the way that he talks to her. So you kind of get the reason why she's killing him. I think it's more scary to kind of wonder why she's done it in the first one, because there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with that relationship at all.
It does tell you in the original why she does it. Remember, she opens up the safe and you see it's like almost like the insurance policy.
Yes, that's right. But it's not. There's nothing wrong with that relationship whatsoever.
Yeah,
whereas with this one, it's kind of
he's dead, Darren. There was nothing wrong with that relationship. It was a loving relationship.
But in the original one, it's it's actually the father to the girl in the original, whereas in the remake, it's must be the stepdad because she calls him by his name. The little girl calls him by his name.
Yeah.
But again, that's one that I watched at the same time as the original as well because of their recommendations. And the only reason I decided to do it was because of the 1989 one, because and I have no idea why I didn't know this, but it's directed by Robert Zemeckis, and screenplay was written by Fred Decker, who was the director of the Monster Squad. It had Mary Ellen Trainor in it, who's the ultimate 80s mom, and she looks fine in this film anyway, in this little segment. Everything about this one I should have known about when this came out, and I don't know how. I had never seen this before.
Oh, I saw this at the cinema, yeah.
Oh, so good. The director, Robert, as you can see, Darren, I love the 1989 one more.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very Robert Zemeckis, it's very Fred Decker, Mary Ellen Trainor. Everything about it's great. The Larry Drake, what did you say it was?
Yep, Larry Drake.
Yeah.
Dr.
He
Giggles.
was great. He was scary. He was really scary in it. So, and it was longer. It was like 22 minutes. So it kind of fleshed out a little bit more than the original. If anything, the original is better because it was able to tell the story in a shorter space of time. Whereas in the remake, they've got a little bit of time to flesh out a little bit more. So I like both of them. I mean, I'm shocked and surprised that I'd never seen them before. But like I was going to say after Darren's one, great recommendations and no excuses for anyone not to see these because they're short and they're free to watch on YouTube. They're great.
Mary Ellen Trainor, though, does play a better mom that's more concerned about her kid in this one.
Yeah. And she doesn't have a blank, pale, emotionless face.
Yeah.
And the blackest eyes. The devil's eyes.
That's going to be a running gag now, Barry. You know, who's that? Joan Collins.
Joan Collins. There she's there.
Joan Collins. Yeah, there she is. Get upstairs, will you now? And then with Mary Ellen Trainor, it's just like, get upstairs. You know, it's a real, like an American, you know, whatever. I ain't going to continue because Darren's going to just say, no, Frank, you're wrong. You know, it's a loving relationship.
It's a remake. That's all I'll say.
Done better.
Yeah. When the remake outdoes the original.
And I knew Barry was going to like it because it has some of his favorite people on camera and behind the scenes.
Absolutely. What more can you ask for?
See?
I'm feeling a little harangued now.
Maybe you're just a little bit older again, Darren. So maybe that'll be why. We'll move on to Darren's last one. Here we go, Darren.
Yes, good film. I'd never seen this until Frank and I did an episode on it last year. And it wasn't what I expected it to be. I was kind of expecting it to be something along the lines of Silent Night, Deadly Night. But it's about this guy who's kind of and his obsession with Christmas, which is kind of tainted a little bit after he sees who is it at the start of the film now, Frank? Remind me.
No, you did it very well explaining why Santa goes crazy.
Doesn't he see his mom get like
pleasure?
I can't remember. in the lounge at the start of the film. But anyway, this guy has this obsession with Christmas, which, you know, becomes a little unhealthy, and he ends up in this kind of descent into mental health issues. He's a bit of an oddball. He's kind of, I guess, picked on a little. He's in the shadow of his brother. There's a bit of, as somebody said last night, because we watched it on Dave's channel last night, there's a bit of sibling rivalry going on there. And as he slowly starts to go, you know, sort of get sucked down into his own little kind of world, he turns on people and starts to go on a rampage. It's more of a kind of psychological movie than it is a slasher film, I think. But I think it's quite well done. I really do think it's well done. I mean, it's obviously dated. It's kind of 42 years old now or something. I think it came out in about 1980. But it has its moments. It's a good performance by the I can't remember the actor's name now. But it has the most bizarre ending. The ending of the film
is a good New Jersey film. It is.
Yeah. The ending of the film is just so bizarre at first. And I think we kind of collectively in the chat room last night watching it, because it was the second time I'd watched it last night, sort of figured out. I don't think Frank and I kind of caught on to what the ending meant a year ago, did we? We sort of figured it out in the chat last night, didn't we?
Who cares what the ending is about, really? I mean, just shit. I mean,
Yeah, oh, you're not a fan of the film. I thought you were a fan of this.
I like the film. I like the film, but I don't. Do we take Christmas movies and let's say if Santa, rode off into the sunset on a horse, it's supposed to be some kind of symbolism? No, it's that. It's just that. Barry, you ever seen Christmas Evil?
Well, no, but.
There.
I'm actually going to do a review for it this year. That's why I bought this. I was preparing myself to watch it for this year. So it's one of the ones I had on my watch list that it was quite high up on the watch list because I have heard great things about it.
Is it in the bargain bin?
No,
it was two for £15. Look, there you go.
Or £10 each. But yeah, it's on my watch list. I'm going to watch it and hopefully get a review for it this month as a kind of Christmassy thing because I need to get a few Christmas movies in for this year as well. So that's one of them. So I'm glad you put it on the list because it makes me think that maybe it's worth a watch.
Oh, definitely. It definitely is. Yeah. I mean, there is he does go on a little kind of rampage at one stage, doesn't he? And there are some nice little kind of slays in it, if you like. But it does kind of, I guess, in the last sort of 30 seconds, disappear up its own arse a little bit.
I'll look out for that.
I can't wait to hear Barry's take on the ending, though, and what he thinks it means.
I need to pay attention.
Yeah. No, you can't miss it. Don't worry.
Right, okay.
Yeah. It's out there, put it out.
Yeah, well, I'm intrigued now. I'm very intrigued to find out then what it's all about.
A fantastic poster, though. Imagine you remember the original poster?
Yeah,
with him like tiptoeing, through, by a fireplace with an axe in his hand. I mean, good God.
And it has who's the actor in there who was in The Hitcher and
Jeffrey Dunham?
Jeffrey Dunham, yeah.
Walking Dead fame, and he's a Frank DuPont regular. People remember him from Green Mile, and he was the lawyer from Shawshank Redemption.
That's right.
Oh,
yeah.
So he's in there.
He's the brother, isn't he?
He's the brother. But yeah, I can't wait to get Barry's take on it. Seriously, I'm looking forward to it.
This scene here looks very interesting.
Oh, that's the that's the opening sequence. I couldn't remember what it entailed. I was trying to get Frank to describe it, but
I can't. Darren said it better.
Yeah. Justin in the chat there says, "Love Christmas Evil. Did you know he's Fiona Apple's dad?" Who's Fiona Apple?
She's a singer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
I
the
need
guy
to be redeemed. I was like a criminal. really skinny girl going around with these in the music video around with these men in a tank top and everything. Okay. That was awful. I'm not going to sing anymore. That was awful.
Fucking Barry White.
baby.
Bit of Elvis in there or something. I don't know what's going on there.
That's my singing Santa version.
That's all the recommendations that we've got. I'm going to jump to the chat because I've not even seen a lot of the chat, to be honest.
Destiny says, "Wow, a free concert."
Shamrock Ball said, "Isn't Michael Keaton in it?" I'm guessing we're talking about Jack Frost.
Not that version.
Yeah. Jack poked her with his carrot. Absolutely. For those of you guys who are in the chat now, that is all our recommendations done. If you've got any other recommendations that you might have said in the chat before but want to say it again, we can have a look at it as well. Mace Machine Horror says, I've got Jack Frost Part 2 as well on Blu-ray. That's right. They've done I think it might have been, is it Vinegar Syndrome that possibly released that in the US? I need to check it out because I know it's going to be bad, but it's one of those ones you just have to watch.
You should have got it with that video there for 15 quid rather than spending a tenner on it.
Well, Vinegar Syndrome is
Their
more
stuff's
just to
expensive.
ship. The shipping's expensive anyway.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Have you got any Vinegar Syndrome SNTD, Darren?
I don't. What other titles have they done?
The annoying thing is, I bought Grandmother's House from the US to send it over to the UK because I thought the UK is never going to get a release of Grandmother's House. And literally the day I received it was the same day 88 Films announced it for the Slasher Classics collection.
Okay.
And I was like, and I had to buy it because I've got the Slasher Classics collection.
Yeah.
So I've got it twice now.
I don't think I have. I've not, over the last few years, I haven't really imported many. I think the ones I've had from the US are what Frank sent me, I think. Well, what do you call it? Scream Factory have done a few decent ones recently, haven't they? They did Alligator. They've done Return of the Living Dead. They've done, there's something else as well, wasn't there? Just lately that they've done.
Well, they've done Dawn of the Dead as well, the remake from 2004.
That's right. Yeah.
I'll need to get that because they don't have a UK release for that on Blu-ray. So I maybe need to pick that up. And then they've got Evil Dead from 2013 that's coming out in January, I think.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool.
So yeah, a few good titles that are coming out that again the UK just don't bother with.
Yeah.
Which is annoying.
Yeah.
Vinegar Syndrome is there. They really into some really weird B stuff. Like you shouldn't be watching it, kind of stuff. They got like a movie called the 16-Ton Crocodile. Some weird stuff. Sinister's Core, Culture Shock, Terror Vision, Killing Spree. They're really into this the killer Satan pig. They're really into this weird stuff. That they don't think it. If this stuff were to come to the UK, it'd be banned. They would probably grab the box that everything's being shipped in, and it'd be thrown in a big pile of fire. It's really that
A
big pile of fire.
How big a pile are we talking?
Yeah, a really big pile. You can put the logs on the pile of fire.
Yeah, we've got 88 films here in the UK, and I think they're maybe the Vinegar Syndrome equivalent because we get really weird UK titles. We've got like Flesh Eating Mothers, The Kindred. All that. I think
Is the Kindred the 80s one?
Yeah, the one with the
I've
the
seen
little
that
bottle thing.
Okay, is that the one
Kinda like
when people start turning into fish?
Do you know what I think it might be? I think does it not take place in like a whorehouse, and somebody flushes something down the pan,
Oh, I
and
don't
it goes
know.
down into the sewers.
It could be. Could be.
The names changed as well. I can't remember.
Is Rod Steiger in it? I think Rod Steiger was in the Kindred.
Can't remember. Maybe I think of the wrong film.
Yeah, no, I don't know what that is.
No. I think I might be Flesh Eating Mothers now.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Psycho Sisters, Sorority Slaughter, Mail Order Murder.
That sounds good. Is that
The
like
Last
You've Got Mail?
Matinee.
Yeah, we don't have The Last Matinee, but we do. The Arrow Video brought that out a few months ago in the UK.
Brandon Collins, a big pile of fire. You mean bonfire?
Yeah.
No, it's actually a big pile of fire.
Yeah.
Gory Tiger said he's in the mist too. Is that you talk about Jeffrey DeMunn? Did you
Yep.
say?
DeMunn, yeah.
Yeah. I knew it when you were saying like The Walking Dead and stuff. Have you ever seen the film The Haunted from 1991 with Sally Kirkland and Jeffrey DeMunn? It's about it's a Smurl family haunting. It's literally the beginning of the Conjuring universe because it's got Ed and Lorraine Warren in the house, and it's a TV movie, and that still is one of the scariest films I've ever seen in my life. It scared the heck out of me. But Jeffrey DeMunn and Sally Kirkland are the parents in it, and little Phoebe from the Monster Squad is one of the kids in it as well.
Okay.
It's a great film. It's very dated now because it's 1991 and it's a TV movie, but it still has the effect, and it's just like The Conjuring, but obviously it came out 20 odd years before it. If you've not seen that one, I'd highly recommend it. And Jeffrey DeMunn's good in it. He gets raped by a ghost in it as well, which
Jesus.
it's a horrifying scene. But
not carrot, is it?
No,
Not a carrot,
it's a carrot being dangled, Darren.
a ghost carrot.
A ghost carrot. Bring all the vegetables in.
The bit of but yeah, that's a good one. You should check it out. It's not very Christmassy, but it's a good one. But there's some.
If you think about it, Barry, none of these movies we're suggesting is very Christmassy if you want to get into the spirit.
No. Exactly. But we're finished with the Christmas stuff now. This is just onto the weird stuff now. The Haunted is a pretty freaky. You get scenes in horror films that kind of live with you, and The Haunted's got quite a few of them in it, and that's obviously one of the scenes with the ghost, because he's sitting down watching like a football game, he's having a beer, and you're looking up, and then in true early 90s TV fashion, the whole, the kind of illuminated colouring that they've got for their films, this bright pink light comes down the stairs and there's a girl, and it takes the form of different people. It actually takes the form as one of his daughters as well at the time, I think, and it's jumping on top of him and making funny noises. Was
this like a theatrical release, or was it
no, just TV.
Just TV. Oh, okay.
TV
they were pushing the bar. Sounds like.
Absolutely. It's frightening though. Oh, this is a good one. Mace Machine Horror Show says you guys should check out ATM from 2012.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah,
yeah. I made a poster.
Enjoy it.
I'm doing a fan film next year.
I saw that. Oh, tell us about that. I saw the poster and I thought, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, well, it's just a family fan film. It's not one that's going to be like Dave McRae's It's Me, Billy or anything like that. This is just a self-funded thing. I've got all the equipment for it now. And I made that like an announcement poster because I didn't have my outfit yet. And I saw the poster for ATM, which is very similar to Urban Legend. It's got the hooded killer on it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just kind of used that image to announce that. That's why ATM is there. But yeah, I'm doing a fan film and it's based on Urban Legend, but I don't know what to call it yet. The announcement title is the Stanley Hall Massacre, which is a part of the original Urban Legend movie. But I don't have the budget or the people to make a massacre in a film. So to call it the Stanley Hall Massacre would be very misleading. So I might rename it to something like The Legend of Stanley Hall, or...
And he's a massacre.
More than one? I don't know. I had no idea. So I don't think I'm going to actually keep it that name. So yeah, it's going to be made for fun. I'm going to have my kids will be involved in it. My wife said that she will play a part in it, although she's very she's a teacher, so she doesn't want to be on screen, stuff like that,
Yeah.
So maybe like kill her from the back or something like that. But I'm doing some location scouting just now for it, and there is some areas around Scotland that are derelict that have buildings that are almost identical to Stanley Hall in Urban Legend. So if I can find the right location and it's safe enough for my kids to go to, then I'll maybe keep the Stanley Hall title in there. But if not, I'll rename it completely, because
Are you going to would you do like guerrilla filmmaking and just kind of go there and do it, or would you have to get permission, or
Ed Wood it?
No, totally guerrilla style. But the places that we're going to go is going to be derelict anyway, so most of it won't need permission to shoot there. But we have, I don't know if you've heard of it, Darren, but we've got a place in Glasgow called the Kelvin Grove Art Gallery.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful building, but the back of it is identical to Stanley Hall as well. But the thing about it is, it still gets used today. It's all lit up and stuff. You would probably need permission to shoot there. However, I could just go and shoot for a few minutes and bugger off so they don't see me. Just like, quick, go. Kill, go.
Run.
Run. We can maybe use them as extras, like, oh no. But yeah, so we've got ideas, and I think if some of the ideas come to fruition, then it will determine how the story is going to go. But it's going to be this. Do you know what I mean? It's my money that I'm spending. I'm not doing Indiegogo or Kickstarter or anything. So it's the equipment that I've got is equipment that we'll use. I've ordered a few things. Like, don't want to spoil too much, but got my axe. This is actually the Silent Night, Deadly Night axe.
Is it?
Yeah, that I got from Mad About Horror. So I'll be using that because that's the best quality fake axe.
You don't want that around with the kids. My kids would love having that around.
Bang. So yeah, and I'll be maybe changing the look of it slightly because this is kind of plasticky looking, but it's still good quality.
Yeah, but when in the right lighting and when you're moving around with it, it'll be fine, won't it? Well, I see some people are trying to name the film for you there. You've got Brandon saying the Stanley Hall incident. Gory Tiger says the Stanley Hall mishap.
Well, that's a good idea. I might actually put
Stanley
it
stabbing.
The
Stanley stabbing, yeah.
I might put it online though for people to help me.
Stanley Axe murders.
If people can help me name the film, that may be a good idea. But I don't want to just blow smoke up my own butt here, but I'm a photographer, so I know how to light scenes and stuff.
Of course.
I've seen some of your fan films before. The ones just you've done around the house are decent, you know.
But, and it would be good to light things a certain way. And that's kind of annoys me, but seeing you get people who'd make Michael Myers masks and they paint it the way it's supposed to look in a different light. And you don't have to do that because that mask there, although it's got the Christmas stuff on it, it looks great if you light it properly. But that's had no work done to it. That's just like a plain mask. But people always say, "Oh, who done your mask for you?" I'm like, no one. It's just lit in a really nice light. Yeah. But if you show it in the camera, you'd be like, "Oh, that looks terrible," and it does look terrible in the wrong light. So if I can light my scenes well, I've actually bought. I'm not going to show it, but I actually bought like a ski mask to go over my head when I've got the hood up because. Obviously, if you're watching Urban Legend, you don't see their face. Yeah. But it's because they're wearing a ski mask. But if you saw them lit properly, you would see the ski mask or you would see the person's face. So if you light it in the right light...
Just be careful hanging around these derelict buildings at night with a bloody balaclava on and an axe.
Yeah.
Darren's always telling me, Frank, can you just, deilluminate your face a little bit? You look kind of shiny.
But it'll be down to the editing as well. I'm okay editing. I'm not a videographer at profession. I'm a photographer. I've just learned the videography on the way through my photography. But I think I've got enough equipment that will help me make a decent zero budget fan film.
Yeah, why not?
And I've got nobody, if you put it on Indiegogo and you've got hundreds of people putting money towards your work, you've got that pressure on you knowing that if you don't make something semi-decent, they're invested in crap. Whereas if I do my own thing with my own money, it will turn out bad, possibly, and I've only got myself to blame, and it's my own money that I've wasted, and it's fine. Yeah. But if I manage to make something would go, that's decent for a fan film, then I'm quite happy with that, to be honest. And being in Scotland, I don't have a lot of people that can help me do things like this. Everyone's in either England or USA. Everybody wants to make a fan film, and you get hundreds of people that get together to be able to do this. We can't get that in Scotland.
Go to Norway.
Yeah. Then I need subtitles.
You've got all the gear.
Plenty of stuff over there. People being fan films left and right in Norway.
Yeah, I've got the gear. I've ordered a boom mic for
some kids' coffins.
Don't need them. Don't need that. They might survive. You never know. But yeah, I've recorded a video explaining things that I'll put out later on in the month because I didn't realize, but when I posted up my little poster for it, I get quite a lot of people saying, "Oh, this is great! I can't wait to see this," and I almost put that expectation on myself that maybe people think this is going to be like It's Me Billy or Never Hike Alone, that quality. And I said in the video, it's not out yet, but I said in the video, like, no, don't expect anything like this. This is just going to be a bit of fun that I'm having because I don't see a lot of people. In fact, I've not seen any Urban Legend fan film out there. And I think it's one of those films that it's popular enough for people to know what it is, but just not popular enough to people to invest their own money into make their own fan film. So I thought, do you know what, it's different, and it's something that nobody's really seen before. So hopefully I can get it out by the end of the year next year, because that'll be the 25th anniversary of Urban Legend.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck with it.
Can't wait.
Good luck. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Darren's going to make a fan film.
Yeah.
What's
it
that
going to
about?
be? What's that about? Jack Frost.
Jack Frost. It's about a carrot.
The killer
Actually, we
cauliflower.
will make a little film, because Frank and I have booked for the H45 convention.
Yeah.
So we're both going, provided that it happens. I haven't seen the tickets go on sale yet, but we've booked hotels and everything. So
Yeah, it'll go in. Is it September or something like that next year? Or July?
yeah, it's the last few days of September, isn't it, Frank? I think.
Yeah, September 29th through the 1st.
Right.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
Around there, around that time somewhere. I thought it'd be more closer to Halloween, but no, I guess. But I was looking at the hotels and flights, and of course, when you get closer in Pasadena, where it's going to be held, when it's funny how those hotels always know when to jack up their prices when something major is coming into their town. Because I checked the week before all that stuff was happening, and it went up about like 25% in prices around the week it's happening.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Not sure about the flight yet. I'm gonna wait to maybe jet fuel prices come down just a little bit.
Yeah, they've done that in the UK as well, with how hotel prices and stuff. They always do it.
Yeah.
The Love of Horror must have been right. The prices went up around that time.
They did, yeah, because I booked for the Love of Horror for next year, and the hotel was £220 for 2 nights, which is okay, but usually it's about £140, so it's went up by like 40%. A lot of money, but has to be done.
Yeah. For all for Ray Wise.
Oh, for
All for Ray Wise.
Ray Wise and what's his
Tony
face from
Caputo.
Tony Capello. Tim Capello. Frank always makes him sound like somebody out of The Sopranos or something.
Tony Caputo. Tony Bagels.
Tony Caputo.
Oh,
Tony Bagels Caputo. I'm going to go get the paper.
We'll get Evil Alex said, what's urban legends going around in the UK? Do we have any specific urban legends in the UK? We've obviously got the Loch Ness Monster, but that's more of an urban myth than an urban legend.
Yeah.
I don't think we have any really interesting ones in the UK, to be honest.
I think, and I was chatting to Dave and Frank about this recently, but it's not UK based, but one of my favorite kind of urban legends or ghost stories is the Telly Savalas one, and you can watch it on YouTube. It's him talking to camera about what actually happened to him in real life, whereas he broke down on this road and he started walking to a gas station, and he got picked up by a guy in a car who drove him to the nearest gas station and lent him money for the gas. And he took the guy's details and said, "Look, I'll make sure I get this money back to you." A few weeks later, he found the gas receipt in his pocket and realized he hadn't paid the guy back. And he got in touch with the guy, and his mom answered the phone and said, "What are you talking about? He's been dead for a year." And he died on that very road. And he claims he took a lift. He took a ride from a ghost. And if you go on YouTube and Google Telly Savalas ghost story, he tells you this story, and you can tell he's like absolutely chilled by what happened to him.
I think I've heard about that before. There is an urban legend that's similar to that, though. Like with you pick up a hitchhiker, and then the hitchhiker gets out, and you don't realize they're getting out, and you find out that hitchhiker died on that road the same night you picked them up. So it's a kind of similar story. Look, I just found this comment here, right there. Look. Justin Grace Goodrich said, "I'm surprised Darren didn't mention Inside. That's a feel-good Christmas movie." Why didn't you mention Inside, Darren?
I don't know whether Justin's been facetious there, because that was one of the first ones I talked about, Justin. But every opportunity I get to plug that movie, I will always take it. It's one of my favorite horror films.
It's just a joke.
Yeah.
Oh well.
As a parent, I'm offended by that movie anyway.
It's at the top of my watch list.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I think we've came to the end of the road, guys. We've kind of swayed off the Christmassy stuff there anyway. But we're almost at 2 hours. I know you guys have probably got a lot of things to do as well, and we'll get our day
The football
going.
game on in a bit.
7 o'clock for us, Darren. Who
And
England
also,
playing?
they're playing
Senegal.
Senegal.
Yeah. Senegal.
Yeah,
I
I've got
don't know,
Senegalese
guys.
family.
I think Senegal's actually going to beat you.
I think Barry's going to be watching The Thing with Two Heads Christmas special. That's on at the same time, I think.
Well, no, I'm half Senegalese, so I'll probably watch the Senegal game.
What, just
No,
for
it's a-
today, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you really?
No.
We'll be watching American football over here because, it's dedicated that Sunday be reserved for all football games. So I will be watching something of a football game, I guess. But, off to work for me. I can make my own little fan film if you just looked in the freezer where I work at. Try to stand up some frozen creatures.
Yummy.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, thanks a lot for all the chats, some of the super chats that came in, everyone who's joined us. I can see there's still people commenting that have been in since the beginning of the chat there. So thanks for everyone for coming. Obviously, thanks to Frank and Darren for coming and doing this and giving us their input on some Christmas horror movies. And if you take anything away from this, guys, I've already have, is any of the movies or the episodes from Tales from the Crypt that you think sound really good, you should definitely check them out. And I'm going to be checking out Inside for definite. And obviously Christmas Evil is on my watch list as well. I don't know if any of you guys have taken any inspiration from the ones that we've said to each other.
I'm keen to see Dead End, but also in terms of Christmas films, it's I've got to see Violent Night, and I want to see the one that's on Shudder this weekend. What's that called again?
Christmas Bloody Christmas.
Christmas Bloody Christmas, which I'm really looking forward to.
That looks good.
I'm looking forward to Barry's review of Violent Night.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
I'll record that tonight, get it out tomorrow, hopefully.
Excellent.
Cool. Yeah. Darren and Frank, thank you very much.
It's okay.
Thanks, Barry, for having us. It's great. Nothing says get into the holiday spirit except for horror. Because let's look at it. Back in the 80s, early 90s, when malls were around, standing in those lines during those Christmas holiday season was terrible anyway. Mm-hmm. Forget that.
Do you know, I was actually trying to think of your leaving line that you always do, and I went blank there. But I'm going to say it now. You ready?
Okay.
Ready, let's do it.
Stick to the roads.
And the best of luck.
Oh, Frank, you're supposed to say the best of luck. I know you usually say.
He feels dirty.
I feel
doing
creepy
that.
if I say that, Barry. It's like icky.
But you can start then.
Okay. As always, ladies and gentlemen, stick to the roads.
And the best of luck.
Best of luck. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.